In the heat of the tropics, the sun cream goes on as the whiskers come off. Tropical squall ahead, and sail changing takes precedence over everything else. To a racing crew, there's always the temptation to leave the spinnaker up as long as possible. In calm conditions, it's easy to gather in the billowing sailcloth, keeping it under control as the halyard is eased. But if it's left up too late in an approaching gale, it may be necessary to cut the guy. The bathtubs slide easily on the slippery wet teak as the boys discover an exciting new game, dodgems on the afterdeck. As the dismasted Penduic 6 makes for Rio, Burton Cutter chooses the right side of the High and is the first to reach Cape Town, a day ahead of the Royal Navy and Adventure, who are delighted with their well-deserved first position on handicap. Making a landfall after 7,000 miles at sea is a wonderful moment, but Adventure sailors must now hand over to a new crew to give others their chance to share in the race. They have the added satisfaction of arriving in broad daylight, rather than groping their way carefully into a strange harbour in the middle of the night. The warmth of the welcome, the tremendous interest and hospitality of the local people are to become a delightful feature at each port of call. In dry dock, there's time for maintenance and a check-over before the roaring 40s. But for the crew of the still incomplete Burton Cutter, time is running out. They take every chance to carry on building the interior, find out why the winch is seized, and live with the frustrations of the dockyard as they hammer out the headsail tack bolts. And hopefully seal the deck leaks. Time for farewells. And a calm start as the fleet heads out for the wild southern seas.
Okay, right, that's it.
Aboard 33 Export, Dominique Guillet begins his last fateful voyage. Penduic 6, back in the race, goes the wrong side of a buoy. Burton Cutter leads GB2, 33 Export and Sayula, whilst Penduic 6 returns to round the guardship. Les Williams makes the best start, but the lightweight Great Britain 2 is slowly overhauling the fleet in the light airs. Jay's curry-fed crew of paratroopers have been carefully chosen for their compatibility and toughness. They're still learning to get the best from their beautiful boat, whereas their skipper has the unique experience of a westabout solo circumnavigation.
Aboard the Catch GB, the paratroopers and Jay, all around the world they do sail, are winching all day on the orders of Jay. He's done it before, but he went round the other way. He's done it before, but he went round the other way.
As they move south and east, the further they sail, the more the wind increases. Only 4 yachts catch the wind early and jump 100 miles with little effort, and their crews begin to witness nature at her most magnificent and are awed by the strength of the roaring 40s. It takes a cool head and enthusiasm to bring the stopped spinnaker back around the forestays before it breaks out accidentally. helm of a yacht is one of the few places where you can legally drink and drive. As the yachts battle onward, the seas take their toll. The incessant pounding is too much for Burton Cutter's 80-foot aluminium hull. Water seeps into her sail locker as welds fail and horizontal stringers break away from her bow plates, which are too thin to stand the 5 weeks battering run to Sydney. Reluctantly, the crew alter course for Port Elizabeth and repairs. The same Force 10 storm brings the first tragedy of the race. Paul Waterhouse is swept into the sea and lost from Tauranga. Five days later, on 33 Export, co-skipper Dominique Guillet is lost overboard. The shattered crew make for Fremantle. Off South Australia, the prevailing westerly wind becomes erratic, and the southerly busters come howling in. It's vital to know the yacht's exact position before entering the Bass Strait, graveyard of sailing ships and thousands of unfortunate sailors. Most of the yachts have sophisticated navigational aids, and radio beacons on Cape Otway and Cape Farewell give them accurate bearings on their direction-finding equipment to help them through the poor visibility, low-lying coasts and treacherous currents, which make this the most dangerous passage of the whole race. Nowadays, we can all be better navigators than Magellan and Columbus, but how many lives could have been saved had the clipper ships had the benefit of these electronic aids?